I used to skate a lot and I used to longboard a lot. And I remember one day in like April 2022, I was riding my longboard down a hill with a few of my friends, and I actually fell off the longboard. And I remember like falling off the longboard, like bailing. We call it bailing when you get off the board because you can't stop. I just bailed, and I remember like rolling down the hill. I remember I landed, I hit my shoulder, and I rolled down the hill. I remember I got down the hill, I got up. I was like, damn, my shoulder hurts. Like I think it's dislocated. I think I dislocated my shoulder. So I was like holding my shoulder like this, and my friend took me to the hospital at UCLA, and then I went to the hospital. It's like 1 in the morning. It was like late at night. Went to the hospital. It's like sitting there. They took me in the room quickly. They're like, "Oh, what happened? I fell off my skateboard. I hurt my shoulder, etc." And like I just remember the whole time the doctors looked pretty concerned. Like they looked like it looked pretty serious to them. It's like I was trying to stay calm, but it's pretty concerning when even the doctor is concerned. So they like put me in the hospital bed. They hooked up the IV intravenous to my arm, and I remember laying down there, and then I got like an X-ray, and then I came back, and the doctor talked to me, asked me what happened. I told the doctor, and she was telling me like, yeah, like this could be a dislocation, this could be a fracture. I'm gonna check the X-ray. And then when the X-ray came back, the doctor came in the room and she told me like, yeah, like your shoulder is completely broken. The clavicle bone is completely broken. It's not dislocated. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did I break my bone? But it didn't hurt that bad. I was like, in my head, I was like, this didn't hurt that bad. I thought I dislocated it. But I was very surprised. I was very surprised. It's like, damn, I broke my shoulder. So instantly I knew like when your clavicle breaks, your shoulder breaks, you're gonna need surgery, or else your shoulder's gonna be like crooked. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need surgery. Damn, that sucks. And then the doctor showed me the X-ray, and like I had broke my shoulder the long way. Instead of breaking in half like this, I broke in half like this. There's like two different pieces like this. I was like, I was like a little concerned. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned, and the doctor was a little concerned too. So she said like, yeah, you can leave the hospital, and then like, but you need to come back within like tomorrow, or the next day, or something to get a surgery. I said okay. So she said, well, I'm gonna give you this pain medication before you leave because that looks like based off the X-ray you're gonna need it. I said, oh man, like based off the X-ray I'm gonna need it. Like, what do you mean based off the X-ray I'm gonna need it? Man, so she gave me the pain medication. I like one dose, and I left the hospital. And I went back to my dorm, and like I remember they gave me like a shoulder sling, so my shoulder was like this in the sling. I was like, okay, damn. So I went home like this, and then I got back, and then I sent the X-rays to the doctor, and the doctor told me like, yeah, you need surgery. Like, okay. And then I came back a few days later to the hospital, and I got surgery. I went there, and I was in the hospital, and once again they had to hook up intravenous bag to my arm, which I really don't like, which I really don't like. And then I had the doctors were saying like, yeah, we're gonna put you in surgery and stuff. We're gonna give you anesthesia. You're gonna do surgery. I was like, okay. And the doctor said, we're gonna put a plate in your shoulder. I said, okay, like let's do it. I remember like having the intravenous bag in my arm on the bed, like getting wheeled to the room. I was like, man, like I think I messed up this time. I really think I messed up this time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was like in my head, I was thinking I need to stop skating or something. You know, I need to change something. This can't happen again. So I went. I got the surgery, and then like I don't know if they gave me extra medication because I'm a big guy or something. Like they gave me so much medication. I remember I woke up from the surgery. I was like nauseous. They were like, "Do you want to stay longer? Are you good to go home?" I was like, "I need to go home." Like, but really, I just need to go outside and throw up. So after the surgery, I got up. Me and my parents like went outside. They were taking me in the car. They had to drive me home. I remember I just went outside. I was like, "Give me a second." I just like threw up in the parking lot. I threw up in the parking lot, and I told my parents too. I feel a lot better after that. I'm not gonna lie. That made me feel a lot better throwing up in the parking lot. It was as if like all the stress and it was as if all the stress and the pain had like exited my body by me throwing up. And I was really happy I got the surgery. Like it was a challenging time, but honestly, I was just trying to stay positive. I was happy I got the surgery, and so I went home, and then I went home, and the doctor was telling me take this medication after surgery. It was like the pain medication, but I didn't want to take too many of these pain medication. Like this is strong pills. So the doctor told me like I think he said like take 4 a day or something. I think I took like two, and then I went to sleep. And I remember I woke up at like 2 in the morning. I was like screaming. I was like, oh, like my shoulder hurt so bad. My shoulder felt like it was on fire from like here to here. Felt like it was on fire, and it felt like it was on fire, and my shoulder was getting stabbed, and like it felt like I had like got shot or something. It felt like I got shot in the shoulder. That's the only way I can describe it. It felt so painful. It felt like I just got shot. Felt like my shoulder's on fire at the same time. Like the bone hurt, the muscle hurt, everything hurt like fire. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I took my other arm and I started punching my pillow. It hurt so bad. And then, so then I had to take the rest of the medication the doctor told me. And I remember like for like a month or two, like couple months, I was in the shoulder sling, and I went to the follow-up appointment with the doctor. He said, yeah, like you're gonna have to wear this shoulder sling for a few months and then do physical therapy. And then you can after that you can go to the gym and do everything regularly. I said, okay. And I remember the doctor asked me like, "Oh, do you want us to do another surgery? We could take out the metal plate." I was like, "No, thank you. Like, no, thank you. This is good enough for me." So I wore the shoulder sling for a few months, and as a result, I couldn't drive either. So like, I couldn't drive with the shoulder sling. But I remember like after a month, I was like, I need to drive. I need to go places. So I remember getting in the car with the shoulder sling, still driving just with one hand. I made it work. So like, that was a challenge. Like I was trying to overcome. And it felt like honestly, it felt like my family supported me, but other people didn't really support me too much. So it kind of felt like I was trying to do my best, but like I felt like a lot of people didn't support me or like stop talking to me during that time. So I was like, oh, I felt like the cold wind. I felt the cold wind. But I did that, and like eventually I just took off the shoulder sling, and I decided like I had to start taking care of myself so I could use my shoulder again. So I remember like my muscle was kind of like tight and like little atrophy because I hadn't used it in a while. My shoulder muscle right here. So I took the massage gun. I remember like putting the massage gun to my shoulder muscles, like, and it hurt so bad. It felt like once again, it felt like stabbing pain in my shoulder. Like my shoulder felt so sore. When doing the massage gun, it hurt so bad. So I did that for a few days, and I remember like my muscle wasn't atrophied anymore. Then I could like move my shoulder like this. I was like very surprised. I was like, oh, okay, like maybe like there's steps I can take. Like I get better a little bit faster. Like I don't have to just sit here and wait. So I was like feeling better. I was like, I got more motion in my shoulder now. I did the massage gun. Then I went to another doctor's appointment. The doctor said, yeah, like your bone is healing. Your bone won't break again because the metal plate, and none of your muscles tore or got sprained or strained or anything. And none of your ligaments or tendons are damaged either. I said, okay. So then I said, okay, my muscles healed up, my shoulders almost healed up. I said, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go to the gym. I went to my friend's house. He had the backyard gym, and we went there. And I remember we were doing some lifts. I hit the bench press. This is the first time I worked out since I had this accident. I like warmed up. I stretched. I massaged my shoulder. I hit the bench press. I was able to do it. I was surprised I was able to do it. My shoulder felt a little wobbly, but I was able to bench. I said, okay, this is feeling good. And this was like probably almost 2 months after my surgery, or maybe a month and a half after. So I said, okay, okay. And we kept doing the workout. Surprisingly, I was able to keep up. I was able to keep up, even with like, I just had surgery less than 2 months ago. The doctors told me, even like, you probably wouldn't be able to do this stuff by now. You'd have to wait past 2 months. So we got to the other part of the workout, the deadlift, where you lift up the bar like this with your whole body. We got to the deadlift part, and I was really worried about this. Like, I got to put a weight hanging down on my shoulder, putting all the weight on my shoulder. I said, you know what? I'll try it out. And I don't even remember the weight that was on the bar. It wasn't that much, but it was the same amount that my friends were deadlifting. Remember, I lifted that up, put it back down. It felt like I had won the Olympics. It felt like I had won the Olympics. Like I was able to do the deadlift with the metal shoulder. I was like very surprised. Like other people told me, some people get this injury, they get metal shoulder plate, they'll never work out again. It gets fully healed. all this stuff, I was able to overcome that. I was like very surprised. And like from that day, I just kept working out and like massaging my shoulder. And I was able to like get full mobility back in my shoulder. I have like no pain in my shoulder. And I was able to fully recover. And like that was a big challenging part of my life. And like a lot of people said I would never fully recover. And everything I read online would say like, oh, this is a permanent injury. You might never recover fully. But I was able to get to this point and I was very happy about it. And it wasn't like a learning moment. I didn't learn too much from this experience. I'm pretty hard headed. I wanted to go skateboarding after this, but I was able to deal with this and it made me feel a lot better about my situation.